Hey everybody, Michael here from, I'm going to make this video for both Replica Airguns and Get Fit Over 40. And first thing I want to do is just simply wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I want to get that out there first. That's really one of the main purposes of this video, is to wish everyone a great holiday season no matter how you're celebrating it. And hopefully you're doing your best in this current situation to celebrate it in some way with your family if you can. And so that brings us to another topic, and I don't want to make this super political. I just want to emphasize to everybody that we're going through some really tough times here. The world is just so divided right now. It's almost like you have two main groups of people, and they're super divided. And, it doesn't matter what group you're on, you probably find yourself in a position where you are no longer friends with friends. You no longer are communicating with people because you have such varying opinions. Sometimes families are being excluded from one another over these topics that are going on. And I just want to remind everybody that at the end of the day, what both groups of people are really trying to achieve, what they both want, is really the same thing. And I don't think people realize this. Both dividing, opinions want exactly the same thing. And what is that? Well, we just want our lives back. We just want what we had before all of this nonsense, before all the, lockdowns and the freedoms and choices and everything was kind of stripped from us. We just want to be able to, have a social life, travel, just get back to the way things were. That's what everybody wants. That's no different, no matter how you feel we need to get there. That's kind of the main goal for both sides. So keep that in mind when you're struggling to understand somebody's different view than yours, that they really want the same end goal. Okay. So, if you are the kind of person that you believe the vaccines are what we need to do, you've been vaccinated, you've got your passport, you're, staying home as much as possible, you're socially distancing, you're wearing a mask, you're literally doing everything that you've been told to do in the promise that you're going to get your freedoms back, right? I fully understand why you're doing these things, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm kind of on the other side, so I'm not here to disagree with anybody. But no matter what your view is, you have to look at the end result and see if you're headed in that direction. If what you're doing is working. If it's not working, then sometimes changes need to be made. And right now, we're in, I don't even know what wave it is. It's 4th, 5th wave with Omicron. And everybody's freedoms, and just everybody's lives are getting torn apart. Businesses are closing down or being forced to close down. We're not allowed to have family gatherings, no parties, nothing, right? Everything's being stripped away. And, some would argue at whether or not Omicron warrants that or not. That's beside the point. The thing is we're not anywhere closer to where we started from, even with all the promises that were made, that if you did the right thing, you would get back your life, you would get back to normal. If we could just vaccinate, it was 60%, 70%, 80%. Now here in Canada, we're at like 95+% fully vaccinated, and we're seeing the biggest spike in cases ever. So I don't think the vaccines alone are working. I don't know why. I believe that they thought that they would work. I'm not saying that they didn't think that it would work and it was just a big whatever, but they're not working. Okay, we're not back to normal. So, but I understand that these people that are doing all the things that they thought they were supposed to do, it's to get back to normal. And you feel strongly that the people not doing these things are holding it all back. But you have to keep in mind, it's like maybe 5% of the people that aren't vaccinated, that aren't wearing masks. If you really believe that those people are creating this huge spike that we've never seen before, when 95% of people are apparently doing all the right things, then I think you got to rethink that a little bit, okay? That's just common sense. Now, on the other side of the coin, you have the anti-vaxxers. I'm not even going to say anti-vaxxers because they're not anti-vaxxers. They're just people that aren't comfortable with the current vaccine. It's a very new vaccine, and I'm not going to go into it, but people have their reservations about this new vaccine. It's never been used on humans. It hasn't been fully tested, right? There was very limited trials. We don't have long-term trials. So a person has the right to feel uncomfortable with that. That's not a wrong way to feel. That doesn't make them an anti-vaxxer, okay? So let's get that out there. You know, a lot of these people don't want to wear masks. I'm one of these people. I don't really believe that masks help. I've done a lot of studying on them. I've looked at a lot of different, research documents and different studies out of different places, real world studies. And the amount of reduction in transmission from wearing cloth masks, paper masks is extremely limited, right? It's very limited. And so if you want to know more information about that, just email me and I can send you information. Do they have their place? Do masks have their place? Yes, if they're used correctly, if they're not just chucked in your pocket and used over and over again and, you know, not discarded after basically one use. Cloth paper masks, you're supposed to get rid of them. People don't do that. Handle them, put them in their pocket with their cell phones. They're not using them properly. They should, of course, be used in places like, you know, medical clinics, long care homes, places like that. But do they help everyday situations? Not really. Okay, that's my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and you're more than welcome to have that opinion. So people that have these strong opinions about vaccines, about masks, about all the stuff that's going on, all of our rights being taken away, you know, they're pushing back because they want life to get back to normal. Now, they feel that if by pushing back, you're going to, and if everybody pushed back, we could essentially not overrun, but we could show the government and the system, or whatever you want to call it, the health system, the government, we could show them that we're not buying into this and we're not going to comply with ridiculous, outlandish mandates, things that aren't working, right? They need to provide evidence. They need to show that they're working. They really need to, you know, and sure, there's certain things that we could be doing. There's obviously things that we should be doing. But, you know, to take all of our rights and freedoms away, I don't think that's the way to go. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think most people don't want their rights and freedoms taken away at the end of the day. And so that's where I'll let it be. I understand the other side's opinion. I understand why they feel the way that they feel. Hope you understand, you know, I hope everybody can kind of understand each side's opinion and why they feel so strongly. It's such a huge thing. This doesn't just affect our own lives. This is going to affect our children's lives, our grandchildren's lives. If certain rights and freedoms are taken away and never given back, they're going to live a completely different life than we had the opportunity to live growing up. So keep that in mind. This isn't just for yourself, right? I would rather live half as long and have my freedoms and you know, all of my choices allowed to me than live twice as long, you know, in a fear situation, not being allowed to do anything and being really restricted. So you have to decide what's important to you. Quality of life, and that doesn't even necessarily mean you're going to compromise, you know, quantity of life, right? I know a lot of people are afraid and they feel that, you know, they could die from COVID or whatever, or get really sick, but, you know, quality of life is a factor that we all need to consider. It's part of living. Okay, so again, sorry for the political everything. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. That's okay. You know, it's just my opinion. I'm not a medical specialist. I'm not an expert in any of this stuff, but I just wanted to put that out there, and I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I'll probably make a quick video before the New Year, but if I don't, we'll see you in the New Year. All right, take care.